welcome back. So, I kind of sped this up a little bit because y'all have seen people, yourself, me, everybody paint a cup. I just wanted to kind of show that I put a coat of white on there and it wasn't very good. So I put another coat of white and it still wasn't very good. Well, the reason that I did this and I didn't spray paint it white, which I highly suggest, is number one, it was raining. Number two is I'm completely out of white spray paint. I finally happened to be at Lowe's and got some, but I just had not gone to the store and I just didn't realize that I didn't have any. So anyways, I used this white acrylic paint but I had done this like a few weeks ago because I had some cups that I needed to do, and I forgot that I didn't have any white spray paint, and I haven't got any. I have since then got some, but at this point I had not. Anyways, so I had painted it, and it just did not. It just never really looked fully painted white. So what I did was I kind of added some elements to my epoxy, my first coat of epoxy. So I put probably like 10 milliliters here of epoxy, and I put some of this white to pink mica that I have from Woody's Goodies, and then I put some of this white mica that I got from my aunt a long time ago, and I got some white alcohol ink and put that in there as well, and I mixed that up, and I used that like as a base so that we could get a little bit more white in the final product. I mean, with the putting the glitter on there. Sorry, I got some kind of head cold right now, but anyways, so I used this to put on the tumbler in the very beginning. Now I had done this with the other tumblers that I forgot that I didn't have any white spray paint, so I had to make do with what I had. So I kind of thought this would be very helpful. Now the only difference with the glitter, the mix that I made for those other tumblers, is they had a little bit more of a white hue to the glitters that I used, right? So this particular glitter that I'm going to be using here in a minute is Venetian from Peachy Olive Glitters. Now, I specifically picked this glitter for this project because I knew it was going to give me all of the iridescent pink hues and just that look for Valentine's that I really wanted. Now the difference is that it is all, almost like see-through kind of, so it didn't give the exact white as the other one that I did, the other tumblers that I did, but all in all, I really think that it looked perfectly fine once we did the glitter and we did the drip and the cup, the vinyl wrap and the decal and all that stuff. I don't think you could tell if you really wanted to look and see. You could kind of tell maybe that there was a little bit of the white missing. But I think all in all, this is a good little trick just in case, or if you just want to add a little something more to your epoxy. I think it gave it a little bit more glittery, base to kind of sit on. Anyways, this Venetian is really, don't sleep on it. If you do not have it, you need to get it. It is a stunning color, and videos and pictures never ever do glitter justice, but this one was definitely worth it. It's a custom mix by them, so you can't get it anywhere but through Peachy Olive Glitters. And with our discount code Paxton10, you can get 10% off. So we're just going to take a look at this. 10 out of 10 would recommend. 0 out of 10 would I recommend using a bag and trying to put all this stuff back in the bag. Put it in the jars like I taught you a few weeks ago, and you'll not have any problems. So just put it in a jar. Don't use the bags because you're going to probably miss out on a lot of glitter and just more of a headache than you want to do to try to have to put that back in the bag. So, but I had not gotten to it yet, and I wanted to use this for the Valentine's Day tumbler, so that's why it was still in the bag. Anyways, enough of my excuses. So when I went in after that cured that first layer with the white and the mica and all that, and then putting the glitter on there, I went in with a couple of coats of epoxy. Um, I did not seal this glitter. Now, that is the one big thing that I think a lot of people might skip on, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I don't know what gets over me. I think that I guess I forget how hard it is to sand down glitter that's poking up everywhere, and I just need to be reminded. I don't know, or it was just after the holidays, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling um up to my normal self and knowing what to do. So anyways, I had to put a couple of coats of epoxy, and then I had to sand the crap out of this thing because there was just glitter sticking up everywhere. So don't do what I did. Make sure you seal this up. It really does help out a tremendous amount with time and painstaking sanding, which I hate, and all of that. So just like I said, do what I do. Do what I say. Okay? Do what I say. Don't do what I do. So after about 3 or 4 coats of epoxy, after I sanded really, really good, and I put a clear coat, really nice and smooth coat on there, this is where we're at now. Now, this is, once again, this is a clear backing, like well, it actually is not printed on white or anything. These are like this is all printed on clear. So these hearts are kind of see-through, which added a little something to this tumbler, I feel, because those hearts just were able to show off some of that glitter that was underneath. And we really got a really cool, neat sparkle with the Venetian and this particular wrap. One thing you'll see me doing here is I'm cutting off the edges. Now that's because last week when we did not cut off the edges and I sliced down the back, we had all that problem and I had to deal with that. So I am trying to learn my lessons. I don't always learn and I don't always do what I learned, but in this case I did. And so I cut off those little excess off there. And, I pretty much in this case use the handle as a straight edge, and I just kind of put it up against that handle there and just use that for my, to where I can see that I'm going to be pretty much straight with all these little hearts all the way around. So I cut this like down to size a little bit, left a little bit extra from the bottom and the top just to have a nice little rim to cut. But I left about an inch off of the, I just kind of folded over about an inch of the backing and just kind of placed it on there. And then I'm able to use that backing to kind of hold the vinyl in place as I push it, around the rest of the tumbler. So after I got it all the way around, I just kind of cut around that handle. I wasn't too concerned because this is just a clear wrap all the way around. So all I did was try to line up the hearts there over that heart that so that I just kind of put the little heart over the other half of the heart. It made it a little bit thicker in color, but it also kind of gave it a full look of a heart. So I didn't have any like half of a heart or anything. So I think in the end, I don't think anybody would really notice or tell, but that's what I ended up doing there. After I cut them, I just kind of made sure that that one heart would kind of overlap the other heart, and then I just cut around it. So, anyways, I thought that was a nifty little way to finalize this particular tumbler in kind of getting a full look of that wrap. So then once I got done with that, I used my Kami Page cutter here, and I cut the bottom part off. I just kind of folded that little excess at the bottom, just folded that over, and then used that to cut it. And then I also used the same width, I guess you would say. I didn't move it down or anything because I was going to be doing a drip on this, so it didn't really matter if I lost a little bit more of the design than I normally would, because we were going to be doing that drip. So after that, I just made sure you really could not tell, but you could kind of feel that the vinyl was like in certain places, it was kind of, there was either a bubble or it needed to be a little bit kind of pushed and flattened out. And but really, honestly, you could not see it, but I could feel it. And so I just kind of went around and just kind of fixed whatever spots and feel I had to make it as smooth as I could. Now, because this is already like finalized with the, it's already printed and it's ready to go and sealed up and everything, I just went ahead and put on our decal from Peachy Olive Glitter. This was sent to me, and I just thought immediately when I saw it, I knew what I had these hearts, and I wanted to use the hearts with them. And I also knew that I wanted to do a drip, not necessarily a drip, but I wanted it to look somewhat like, like whipped cream, because all these little drinks here have like a whipped cream topping. So I didn't want to do a whipped cream topping like on the top of the, the lid or whatever. But I definitely wanted to have some semblance of that look of a whipped cream, just to give it that whimsy on the, for the design. Once I got that all done and put the decal on and the wrap and all, I just went in with my Mod Podge because I was handling this a lot. And so I just went in with Mod Podge and did a coat all over, up and down the entire tumbler, just to make sure that we get a good coat, a good clear coat, because there's no going back after this. After you put the coat on, after you've wrapped it and everything, if there's bubbles or fingerprints or anything like that on there, it's just gonna show. And so I just like to have a solid base to put that first coat of epoxy, and then that way hopefully you don't get bubbles, and you don't get to see any flaws or things like that. So after that dries about 30 minutes or so, I went in with our coat of epoxy here. This coat of epoxy is just going to make sure everything is sealed in, so when we do the drip, we can wipe anything off, or we don't affect the decal or the vinyl wrap that we've done on the entire cup. So I just like to have that kind of protection over it before we go into that drip or whatever you're doing that's on top of these designs here. So word to the wise, I used fast set epoxy for this. Now normally I would say do not do this, but normally, pretty much every time I would say don't do this. The only reason that I did it was this was really the only epoxy I have. I am trying to work out getting a particular epoxy for me that I was trying, and I'm just trying to use up a lot of epoxy that I have, right? Because I've tried all these different things, done all these different things. Well, right now I have one particular kind of epoxy for doing tumblers, but then this, I just really didn't want to waste it on doing a drip. So I thought I'll try it with the fast set and we'll see what happens. So anyways, the problem with the fast set and doing a drip is you need it to sit, and you need it to sit up, I guess, so that you can, it can be thicker and you can get, a better drip and not very much movement, or if you want more movement or whatever the case may be. So the problem with this fast set is that it sets up very quickly. And so if you have to be on a very strict timeline, like you really have to be sitting there and watching it and not really moving and not really going very many places, because at first you're like, okay, this is really super runny and this is going to go all the way down to the bottom of the tumbler. But within minutes, I mean, literally within minutes, if not faster than that, it can just get very, very hard, very, very fast, and almost to where you can't even work with it. Now I'll show you what happens here. So I'm trying to add a little nice and thick because my tip here was that I did not want it to look like a drip. I wanted it to look like whipped cream. So I thought, which I was correct in the sense that the fast set would set up very quickly and give me a very thick, quick, non-drippy look, which that whipped cream doesn't really drip like that, and unless it's melting. But I was stirring this and trying to separate my little conversation hearts here that I got from Peachy Olive Glitters. I really only wanted to use just the colors that would match with the pink hearts and the look of those drinks that were on there and everything. So as this was kind of setting up, I was kind of dividing out these and kind of pulling them away. Now here it looks pretty runny, but I'm already, I can already feel that it's very hot, and I can already, like, you can almost hear it bubbling, like it's sizzling. And so I knew in this moment that I was on a extreme time crunch because I'm using the fast set. So as the minute that I could feel it and see it and kind of hear that this thing it's going really fast, it's going to be, before I know it, I'm not going to even be able to use it. So I went ahead and just was slapping it on there as quickly as I could. Now, I'll show you here in a minute that literally I sped this up 2 times. So it's really not going, I'm really not going that fast, but it literally within that time frame got this big, huge glob in there. And, I used the nice and thick and all of that. So there was a reason why it was getting thicker in that sense too. But the fact that it was the fast set was really, that's like immediately it is, boom, it's got this glob in there, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty much done. I really don't have much else that I can do here. So I just worked as fast as I could, getting as much as I could and putting it on there. But it did give me the look that I wanted, which was exactly, what I was hoping. It's just, you got to be right there and ready to work. You cannot have anything else to do. You cannot have, any kind of distractions or anything like that. So, it gave me what I wanted, but it was at a little bit of a sacrifice because I sacrificed about 20 milliliters of this epoxy and probably only got about 10 because, 10 of it is sitting right there in that glob. So, and immediately it's curing, it's getting hard. It is like getting so sticky. And I know that sounds like it's a good thing, but it really wasn't, because it was like, I don't know, I can't describe it, but the stickiness wasn't sticky to the point of getting those things to stick on there. It was almost like it was slick, and it was like not, it was almost like a slime or something like that. Anyways, I got them on there, and then I let that cure for probably several hours just to make sure, because I always get worried about the heat and all that. So I just like, put you off to the side, let you sit, let you get good and cured, and just, and then I'll come back to you. So this is the coat of epoxy after that. So once I put this coat of epoxy on, I just made sure that I got all around all of those conversation hearts, all around the drip, all around the edge. I did sand the edge before I got to this, putting this on, because I wanted to make sure that I had a good sanded, so that we could be able to sand it some more after that and be able to put the cure on there. So as you can see there, the some of the glitter and the conversation hearts were kind of poking up, and I had sliced my glove. So you just want to be real careful when you're working with this kind of stuff. So after that cured, I went in and did a lot of sanding all around the tumbler, all around the rim. As you can see a much bigger piece of that stainless steel that I used my Dremel and made sure that there was a good amount of rim there so that we could get a final coat of epoxy on here and not have to worry about it coming loose from that, where that whipped cream was at the very top. When you're adding something like that, you still want to make sure that you're getting that full seal on that top. And I did go around quite a bit, making sure that I got underneath the whipped cream and over the whipped cream and all over the handle and everything like that. And here it is, so adorable, so cute, perfect for Valentine's, perfect for any time of the year that you just want to, you know, just have a cute little tumbler that you can show your love and show, you know, worry less and that kind of thing. But the beautiful Venetian glitter is just stunning. You have to see it in person. I love the little conversation hearts on there. They really added a little, and that whipped cream topping in the conversation hearts added that whimsy that I was looking for with this decal. All of this you can find, well, the decal, conversation hearts, Venetian glitter you can find. Peachy Olive Glitters, Paxton 10 will get you 10% off. The decal, I mean, the full wrap was at Alana's gift shops. Love her. She has the best stuff. And the tumbler is from Camper Mug from Craft Haven. Anyways, please like and subscribe and follow me down below. Join my Facebook group. And I'll see you next time.